But first, here's the first reason that we need to forgive those who've hurt us. It's because unforgiveness hurts you as much, and truly 99.9% of the time, more than it hurts the other person. When you hold on to that hurt and you don't let go of it and you don't forgive, it always, I'll just put it in that category, it always hurts you more than it hurts the other person. You ever been hurt and just thought or said, because this happens, I know, this is just the way the flesh works. Somebody hurts you and you think, you know what? I'll show them. I'm not going to forgive them. I'm just going to hold on to that. I'm just going to remain angry. I'm just going to talk about that. Can you believe what they did to me? Can you believe what they did? And you just really paint it in this horrible way. You're the victim. They're the one that hurt you. And you just play that tape over and over again. And you know what? When I see them, I'm just going to give them the cold shoulder. I'm just going to give them the evil eye. Right? I'm going to make sure they always remember how much they hurt me. How'd that work out for you? I'm sure not very good. Because here's the deal, guys. Here's how that always works. Unforgiveness always goes down one of two paths, okay? The first one, if it's a person that you don't know very well and that you're not seeing on a regular basis, you're not really in a relationship close with them in some way, guess what? They're not thinking about it anymore. They're going on with their life, man. They're hanging out. They're doing their day. They're having a good time. And you're over here going, I'll show them. And the whole time you're doing that, have you ever noticed it takes work to hold on to hurt? It takes effort. It's like when I became a parent, I learned something. Discipline's hard. Because when you punish them, then what? Now, okay, you're grounded for a week. Oh, shoot. Now I got to stay home and make sure they stay home. Right? Because you're a parent. You got to enforce the thing, right? It's like, and that's the way it is with hurt, man. You get hurt, and when you don't let go of it, then all of a sudden it just consumes you. It consumes all this energy, and they're just going on with their day. They're not thinking about it anymore. Hurts you way more than it hurts them. The other way it plays out, though, is if you are in close relationship with them. And if you are in a close relationship with them, unforgiveness kills relationship. It just crushes it. If you don't get past, if you don't learn to let go, forgive and move on, then your relationship doesn't have a prayer. You can't have healthy relationships without continual forgiveness and learning to forgive each other and move forward. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 15. Wonderful verse in this. The whole context of this verse is relationships, living in peace with others. And the Hebrew writer says, see to it that no one misses the grace of God, and that no bitter root, I've got that line, or that phrase underlined, that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and to defile or to corrupt many. See to it. It's a wonderful little phrase. In the Greek, it means be intentional. Take the first step. Don't wait for the other person to initiate reconciliation. You be the one that initiates it. You be the one that takes the first step. You be the forgiver. You be the grace giver. You be the one that picks up the phone and takes the step to make it right, to rebuild that bridge. And he says, see to it specifically that no bitter root grows up. Do you know what bitterness is? It's the poisonous fruit of unforgiveness. When you don't forgive, when you hold on to a hurt, and you say, I'm just going to show them, I'm going to hold this over them, and you rehearse it, that festers and it gets infected. It's like a wound of the soul. And it grows into a cancer called bitterness that eats away at your inner man. It will destroy you. I know people who have lost marriages over bitterness. I've heard stories of people who shipwrecked their faith and walked away from Christ over bitterness. Someone hurt them in the church. Someone did something. And maybe it was really bad. But instead of letting go of it and moving forward with Jesus, they held on to it. And it festered and it grew into bitterness. And maybe that person moved on with their life, but this person didn't because they held on to that thing. Can you believe what they did to me? And all it did was destroy them from the inside out. That's what bitterness does. When people hurt us for our own sake, okay? For our own relational sake, for the sake of our relationships with people and with God, for our own emotional sake and our own emotional health, for our own spiritual health, for all of those reasons, we have to learn, we have to make a decision to be fast, quick forgivers. To learn that when we're hurt, don't even give it a chance to take root and even begin to turn into bitterness. Just let go, and move on. You can't change what's happened, but you can change. You can decide not to be defined by it. You can choose to move forward and let it go so that it won't destroy you or your relationship. Huge. You got to do it. We got to do that.